films typically come together scene by scene. But for Crowdsourced Cinema, a public art project run by Northampton Open Media, teams of people each put their stamp on one scene from a famous film. Those scenes are then stitched together to recreate the film, which this year is Beetlejuice. I sat down with Al Williams, Northampton Open Media Executive Director, to learn more.
The idea came out of a half-hour discussion we had as staff. We had a program we were running called the 7 Days Film Sprint, where we were having community members create short films in like a 48-hour film festival style competition. And Alex Russo, who's a member of ours, and my staff member Dave Newland and I were talking. And I think Alex actually originally had the idea about maybe putting it together a piece where we remade a feature film and use the community to do it as an art project, as a public art project.
And it's really become this cult following. Now there are 40 teams, roughly 300 people on each team. And that seems like a lot of cooks in the creative kitchen, but why so many people on a single team?
Well, actually, it's 300 people in total is what it is.
Total. I misunderstood. Thanks for correcting me.
No problem at all. But it is still an awful lot of people. The teams they can range quite widely. I mean, you can have a team of 10 people. I think you could have a team of 10 people. You could have people who do a scene on their own, though that's pretty rare. Usually a team is about 5 or 6 people. And they'll get together and they could be friends, they could be family members, they can be neighbors. The Northampton City Council, some members of the City Council do a scene. They've done that for a couple of years.
And when people hear the word scene, they might think, oh, it's a film, there's acting, and that's that.
Yeah.
But there's a range of medium, too. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so people will do sock puppets for scenes. We've had people do Minecraft, which is a popular video game, scenes inside of that game. We've had people do animation. We've had of course, people do live action. People can interpret the scene and use really any medium they want in which to do it. Sometimes you see like stop motion as well. People have used.
And then it's stitched together to give you the final product. Last year was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This year it's Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
How do you arrive? I mean, so many films out there. How do you arrive at what you're going to have the community work on?
Yeah, it's a really laborious process actually because people have a lot of strong opinions about films they want to see covered because they love those films or they think they're important. There are some key elements we look for. One is that because the actors change in a scene every couple of minutes based upon who's doing the scene, we need recognizable characters. So if they have costumes which make them easy to discern from scene to scene, that's a good thing for us. So Beetlejuice has a very clear costume, the striped costume and the hair. You have elements of the characters where they're easy to identify. So being able to sort of follow the story is good, is a quality we look for. Also cultural consciousness. We want people to be familiar enough with the film so that they can follow it. You know, they're not seeing it for the first time. It's something that they remember, have some nostalgia about. And
they can attach to it. But interestingly, you have to be very careful too, because you can't use things that would be kind of standard recognizable film fodder, which is the music, right?
Yeah.
Or even some of the images that might be copywritten. So how do you thread that very thin needle?
So the music was actually a really difficult part. We didn't sort of realize how tight copyright regulations were around those things. So the first one we did was Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Huge score there.
It's a huge score, and also, believe it or not, things like whip sound effects. Using a whip sound effect is flagged by YouTube because it's a particular whip sound effect. So we had to actually rescore the entire film. So every year, not only do we have people who redo the scenes, but we have musicians and composers who rewrite the entire score of the film. So we have to do the sound entirely from scratch.
In some of the films, like you just mentioned, Raiders, were you challenged at all in terms of just the copyright of the fact that I guess you could argue it's parody, but have you ever been challenged that you've remade this film?
We have not. There was a
fingers crossed.
There's a big project in 2009. This is actually another big influence for us doing this. There was a project called Star Wars Uncut in 2009 in which the internet remade Star Wars in 15-second pieces. And Lucasfilm never came after the project. We believe it sits very squarely inside of fair use law. So no one's ever really mentioned it to us. You know, it's a public project. There's no money made. It's really about people exercising their creative muscles, and I think that it passes all the there are 4 pillars of the fair use test, and it seems to pass them all.
And it's been such a fun and fantastic way to bring the community together. You've actually franchised it, right? So a number of other cities across the country have gotten on board. Did you reach out to them through various community television channels, or how did those other cities become involved?
Yeah, it's mostly through community media organizations in other cities. So in Boston, the project is Crowdsource Boston. They do the same film that we do. This is the 3rd year that they've been along as well, doing it there. There have been some other communities. Kenosha, Wisconsin did a version of it. They chose their own film. They have some ties to the film Nosferatu historically in the community, so they remade Nosferatu last year. Windsor Locks, Connecticut did last year's film or the year before's film as well, and we're looking at Philadelphia and New York as possible partners moving forward in the future.
So Northampton Open Media is a new name for the organization.
Yeah.
Previously it was Northampton Community Television.
Right.
What was behind this other than just a basic rebrand?
Essentially, it reflects the idea that the concept of television is an idea that has shifted greatly in the past decade, even more than the past decade. It's really reflective of what we really do, which is supporting people making media. Television is a medium on which we distribute our content. Similarly to WGBY and to really any media organization in the world, we're not operating on one single platform. We're teaching people to express themselves, and the platform that they're using to distribute it is just one aspect of the bigger picture. And so, we want to be up to date and reflect who we really are. And so the idea of Northampton Open Media is that it's not just television, it's really expression through media.
The idea of community access television was really made famous or infamous in recent years by Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
When you look at what he does with Between Two Ferns, do you look at what Northampton is doing and say, we defy that, we transcend?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think in the sense that, Zach's show, Between Two Ferns, is really, it makes fun of sort of those aspects of public access TV in which it's kind of has a reputation and in many ways deserved of being sort of low quality. And so we do definitely see ourselves as delivering higher quality content than that. I really appreciate Between Two Ferns. I think it's great, and that kind of content. Just having someone sit down in front of a set, even if it's not as lovely as this set, and talking about issues that they find important is something that we do support. But we also like to really teach people to communicate effectively as well.
One last question. The FCC, some of the rules around how community television gets its funding and also the bandwidth on air is being challenged right now, is being questioned.
Yeah.
Are you concerned about that as a serious threat to what you do?
Yeah, for sure. The FCC is sort of re-looking at the law that funds community media and has made a ruling recently that radically reinterprets sort of the way that this law has been interpreted in the last 35 years. There's going to be some challenges to that ruling that are coming up, but we certainly have concern about support for this community resource.